Hi, welcome to the second part of our lesson on plane shapes and figures. By the end of this lesson, you should be able to draw plane shapes, draw plane objects to scale, convert actual length to scales, and vice versa. Apply scale drawing to solve measurement problems and solve problems on quantitative aptitude related to plane shapes or figures and scale drawing. Are you ready? Well, let's begin. Do you know who an architect is? An architect is a professional whose job is to draw building plans on paper before it is built on the ground. Are you not wondering how this very small building plan can be changed into this big building? Well, architects have a secret up their sleeves. We would learn about it in this class. An architect's secret to changing small building plans to big buildings and skyscrapers is scale drawing. A scale drawing is a diagram on which a real object, for example, a book or a table, is drawn bigger or smaller while keeping the same proportions. So to draw big real-life objects into your small notebooks or turn the small drawing in your notebook into a big real-life object, you need to use a scale drawing to make it smaller. Cool, isn't it? One important point you must remember is a scale drawing must clearly show the ratio used to enlarge or reduce the object. This ratio is called the scale of the drawing. Just as we said, scale drawings are used to reduce real-life objects to drawings or enlarge drawings to become real-life objects. So let's start with learning how to reduce real-life objects to small drawings. To draw a scale drawing, you need to 1. Know the actual measurements of the object, and 2. Know what scale you have to use depending on how much space you have to do the drawing. For example, if you are asked to make a scale drawing of this large rectangle, the first thing you should do is measure its length and breadth. So let's do that together. The length is 100 centimeters. Wow, that's big. And the breadth is 70 centimeters. Next, we choose a scale. Let's say a scale of 10 to 1. This means that for every 10 units on the real-life big rectangle would mean 1 unit in your notebook. To make it easy, we convert the real-life measurements of the big rectangle into the ratio measurement by dividing the real-life measurement by the ratio. That is, 100 divided by 10 for the length, which makes the scale length 10 centimeters, and 70 divided by 10 for the breadth, which makes the scale breadth 7 centimeters. You can now pick your ruler and pencil and draw the rectangle in your book by measuring the scale length of 10 centimeters and breadth of 7 centimeters. Don't forget to write your scale of 10:1 under the drawing to show that you used scale drawing to reduce a real-life object to that size. Next, let's learn how to enlarge small drawings to big objects or draw using scale drawing. For example, if you have this small kite shape in your book and you need to construct a big flying kite toy using cardboard, all you need to do is 1. Measure the sides of the kite in your notebook, and 2. Pick a scale to use in enlarging the kite. So, let's do it together. The small sides of the kite in the book are 3 centimeters and the long sides are 6 centimeters. Next, we choose a scale. Let's say a scale of 1:5. That means every 1 unit of the kite drawing will be increased 5 times in your kite toy. To make it easy, we convert the small kite measurement into the ratio measurement by multiplying the drawing measurements by the ratio. That is, 3 times 5 for the short sides, which makes the scaled short side 15 centimeters each, and 6 times 5 for the long side, which makes the long side 30 centimeters each. You can now pick your ruler and pencil and draw the kite in your cardboard by measuring the scale length of 15 centimeters on both short sides and 30 centimeters on both long sides. Cut out your big new kite, attach a rope, and fly it all around the school. Don't forget to write your scale of 1:5 under the kite. Having learned about scale drawing, can you use that knowledge to solve problems and quantitative reasoning problems? Like finding out which of the following rectangles is a 1:4 scale of the above rectangle. Well, to answer that question, just measure the rectangle in question and then measure all the other rectangles to find out which one is exactly 4 times the size of the original rectangle, since the scale is 1:4. First, we measure the original rectangle to see its length and breadth, which is 4 and 2 centimeters. Then we measure all the rectangles in the option to see which one is exactly 12 and 8 centimeters, which is 4 times the original size since the scale is 1:4. Therefore, we found our correct answer because this rectangle measures exactly 12 centimeters in length and 8 centimeters in breadth, which is exactly 4 times the size of the original rectangle. With that, we have come to the end of our lesson. Our lesson series on plane shapes and figures. In the lesson, we learned how to increase and decrease objects using scale drawings and how to solve quantitative reasoning questions related to scale drawings. See you in the next lesson.